Hi there, my name is Tom Bell, and welcome to my 5 Minute Friday videocast on the 7th of March. I am an author, a consultant, an educator, a speaker, and a trainer. And I'm going to talk about the obvious things today. One of the things that you may not know about me is that I'm a PhD student. Hark, get him, I hear you say. And I've been learning about this concept called agnotology, which I think I've described in other ways in the past. But agnotology is, Google it if you get the chance. AI is wonderful at giving descriptions, isn't it? But agnotology is the deliberate production of ignorance. It's the production of doubt and ignorance to serve a political purpose. And I have to say, there's probably no more relevant time to be studying the concept of agnotology than right now. This deliberate production of ignorance, I guess, is very similar to PR, public relations, or propaganda, as it used to be known. And some of you that have listened to me and watched me before will have heard me talk about the inappropriate use of public relations in terms of, justifying pesticides and tobacco. We all remember those adverts, don't we, where doctors were sitting there going, you know, a cigarette a day will help you, kind of thing. Um, those days are gone, thankfully. But we've still got the production of agnotology and the production of public relations and the production of propaganda. And we've got it going on in monumental amounts at the moment, haven't we? What is going on here? Do we understand? I don't think we understand, do we, what's going on? We're all trying to place motives at people's feet. So we say, well, Trump's this or Trump's that, or he's trying to do this or he's trying to do that. We actually don't know. And part of the reason for that is this deliberate production of chaos and confusion as a tool that helps the agnotological purpose. Yes, don't I sound clever? Probably not, no. So the production of the chaos is a product itself. It's not the end product. The chaos that's being produced is deliberate, i.e., this constant stream of this, that, and we're stopping this and we're doing that, and we're going to cease this, and then we're going to get stuck into them and dad. This constant stream of toing and froing is actually there to confuse. It's there to distance us. So we just kind of step back and go, oh my God, I can't cope with this. So I think it's a form. What he's doing is he's trying to use that, Trump and others, trying to use that to create a sense of uncertainty, a climate of fear, in which they know they can do things that wouldn't be accepted under what you might call normal peace terms. Yeah. Stability. Let's call it stability rather than peace. And it's absolutely incredible that we are sailing towards this point where he's managed, for example, to get this to be a debate about left and right. But, it's never been a debate about left and right. And we're sailing towards this point where we become nothing more than a set of polarized sound bites, throwing things at each other, left, right. Actually, this is a story older than left and right. This is a story about fairness versus unfairness. This is the powerful versus the less powerful, the disenfranchised, the disempowered. This is the rich versus the poor. To coin it as left and right, I think again is a form of agnotology. It's making us ignorant about what really matters. So it's a bit like a Darren Brown trick, where we're focusing over there and going, "Oh, look at that shiny, exciting thing, yeah." But actually, what's happening is over here, and it's a far older, perhaps less sexy topic. We love to talk about politics as if we know what we're talking about. But this is right versus wrong, isn't it? This is not left and right. That's a very basic statement from me, I guess. But there is something here that needs saying, isn't there? Mainstream politics has made way for this. If people in the mainstream are wringing their hands and going, "Oh my goodness, how did this happen? How did we reach this point?" Well, you actually brought us to this point, folks. Mainstream politicians and mainstream politics, with the exception of a few, one or two, sure, Corbyn, with the exception of one or two, I think of Bernie Sanders, there's another for you. They have brought us to a point where actually people just stop trusting them. We stop believing them. And certainly, middle and working class America, if you want to call it, blue collar, whatever, stopped trusting politicians and created this vacuum whereby somebody like Trump could step in and go, "Hey, I understand you. I hear you. I'll drain the swamp. I'll do this. I'll do that. All the evidence points to the contrary. All the evidence points to him being more corrupt, more venal than any other politician in American history, perhaps in world history. There are going to be exceptions there, aren't there? But he's stepped into this space, the space of a sort of a cult figure almost, demigod, whatever you want to call it, where people are now committed to him and they want to believe him, and that's a problem, isn't it? Because what's happening is they're separating themselves from the need for evidence. There's now no longer need for evidence, because if you can call everything fake news or incorrect news, da 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 da, then you're on solid ground, aren't you? Because of course they would say that, and they would say that, and that space was created by mainstream media, mainstream politics, not telling it like it was, not addressing the issues and the elephants in the room that most of us, let's call us the disempowered, the disenfranchised, that most of us knew were going on. They wouldn't talk about inequality. They wouldn't talk about politicians lying. They wouldn't talk about politicians misleading people. Everything was dressed up in very nice, polite language, and we had nice, polite conversations on the media with people. That created room. That created the space. So mainstream politics has got to take that on the chin and learn from it. We as a people, I think, and I say that globally, we've just got to be hopeful, haven't we? We've got to remain hopeful. But as well as remaining hopeful, we've also got to be a little bit active. We've got to, as I said last week, take steps to educate ourselves. Slightly patronising, yes, but go with it. Take steps to educate ourselves. We've got to relearn our history, I think, and look at what has happened in the past, and maybe start to challenge ourselves and our own thinking. And I can say from experience, by the way, I have done that. I didn't used to be this person. I was a bit brash and I was a bit crass back in the day. Thankfully, I'm not. Well, I'm less so, and I think now. So there's a process of development there, isn't there? And there's a wonderful Muhammad Ali phrase that says, if you meet a man at the age of 50 who has the same opinions as he had when he was 20, then you've met someone who's wasted most of his life. And I think that's right. Do let the evidence get in the way. Do look for things that you might not normally look for. Don't just listen to the echo chambers and read the books that you would normally read. Step outside your comfort zone, because that's really where the growth is. Trust me, that is absolutely where the growth is. On that note, I've gone way over my 5 minutes, haven't I? I hope it was worth it. I'm sure you'll tell me if it wasn't. As ever, please stay safe, stay sane, difficult, and stay solvent if you can. Cheers.